Yep. As we see time and time again, year after year, postseason baseball is all about pitching, defense, and timely hitting. Usually, the teams that can get those timely hits, usually they make it pretty far in the playoffs. And speaking of timely hits, man, the Phillies definitely put on a show against the Marlins with a bunch of timely hits that they had. And now they match up against the Braves who are arguably the best team in baseball all year. They've just been steamrolling over teams. But this is going to be a tough matchup for the Braves just because the Phillies inside the division know them pretty well. The Phillies are feels like the Phillies, they're trying to make it back to the World Series. They feel like there is still some more meat left on the bone. Dylan, what is your synopsis of how this Phillies and Brave series is going to go down?
Yeah, you said arguably. I don't know if I'd say arguably. I'm pretty sure the most people when they look at Major League Baseball this year, the Braves were the best team. There's no doubt about it. But one thing that I look at when I look at this series, Braves Phillies, you have Charlie Morton who's injured, right? So that's a big piece of your rotation that's out right now. Max Fried's got the blister. Who knows how that can go? Like if you got a blister injury, everyone laughs when you hit the IL with a blister, but that as a pitcher is huge. And you have that going into the postseason. He says it's doing better, but that's still definitely something to keep an eye on. So 1 through 3, you got Strider. You know he's going to strike out batters. You got Fried. If he's right, he's good. But if Fried has a bad start, then what? You're left with Elder, one of your guys that you got throwing that's younger in the rotation. Kyle Wright's velocity's not up. He's in the bullpen right now. So it's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of fog behind the first two starters. I think if Fried's off his game, Philly could take this series because
Mm,
they got some dogs in their rotation too. We saw
they
Nola go
do.
out there and shove. Only got 3 strikeouts. You to get 4 for me, Nola, but you couldn't do it. 7 innings, 3 Ks with a crowd behind you. You couldn't do more, but okay. You got Nola, you got Wheeler, you got the offense with timely hitting. Bryson Stott stepped up all year long, and that showed with his big
Man.
home run left on left to go ahead and clinch that. But I think this is going to be a phenomenal series. I originally picked the Braves. I got them going all the way. We'll get into that later. But if the Braves don't get out of this round, it's definitely going to feel like the song by Morgan Wallen about the 98 Braves. It might be switched to the 20. It came close, but close
Yeah.
doesn't cut.
Yeah, man. Speaking of, you mentioned that Bryson Stott home run, just how electric that was, and that's that. This is. I feel like this is going to be a long series. This whole series is going to be electric. I can just only imagine if Philly can steal a game in Atlanta. I think that can go a long way for them. But you can make of this as you will. You know, the Braves are 8-5 against the Phillies this year, so they've had their number. But once again, this is postseason baseball, so honestly, this shouldn't even matter. But I believe that the Braves that they're on a mission this year. Remember, they got upset by the Phillies last year in the playoffs. They knocked them out when Atlanta was arguably the best team in baseball, and they got knocked out. So I still think in the back of the Braves' mind, they haven't forgot about that. And remember Brian Snicker, I think he's taken a different approach this year, especially towards the end of the year. He decided not to sit his starters at the end of the season when they already had the number one seed locked up. I think this Braves team is different. Their mentality is different. Last year they came out really flat. And you can blame that on the starters getting rested. But I truly think the Braves have something to prove. Matt Olson had a great season. Ronald Acuna, I mean, two MVP candidates in that lineup. I think this is going to be a long series, but Braves, they pull it out.